Steven Spielberg's long-awaited return to the world of blockbuster action movies is here, and its commercial and critical reception have been pretty strong so far. And while it does take a step back compared to the book due to some less interesting characters, it improves on the core themes that were integral to the book by staying focused. This is how the cinematic adaptation of Ready Player One improves on some aspects of the book. And a disclaimer, there will be spoilers for both the book and the movie ahead. In some ways, Ready Player One is very faithful to the source material. It hits some similar plot beats, and the end objective is the same. When James Halliday, the creator of an online virtual reality game called The Oasis, passes away, he issues a challenge. Find 3 keys hidden within the game to inherit control of the Oasis, including his $500 billion fortune. The book was very popular when it was first released, but has since fallen from grace in the eyes of many. Some people accuse the story of being an excuse to reference every popular movie or video game franchise of the past 40 years, and they kind of have a point. While the plot is fun and interesting, it can sometimes be bogged down by its need to mention nostalgic properties like Star Wars, Back to the Future, or Pac-Man. While Spielberg's adaptation still includes just as many, if not more, of the aforementioned references, the 3 keys that need to be found have a more cohesive link between them that furthers the central ideas at play instead of random pop culture trivia. Ready Player One shows how cool a virtual world that allows us to explore our wildest dreams could be, but it also serves as a cautionary tale of how we use technology as a substitute for reality. The world of Ready Player One is in the midst of an energy crisis. The majority of people lived in stacked trailers, appropriately named the Stacks, and their only escape to a better life is their Oasis console. James Halliday's use of the Oasis and video games in general mirrors the way that the protagonist, Wade Watts, uses them. Wade and Halliday are recluses that spend all of their time consuming media. They reject the outside world and spend most of their time in the virtual one. Throughout the course of the movie, the keys to find the Easter egg are granted when Wade takes risks, lets himself open up to people, and corrects the mistakes that Halliday has made in his past. He investigates a video of Halliday and Ogden Morrow, the co-founder of the Oasis. They talk about a date that Halliday went on, but failed to make a move. That girl's name was Karen Underwood, and she would end up marrying Morrow. This is one of Halliday's biggest regrets, and strongly defines his character. The clue to the first key is discovered within this conversation, showing the importance that the dynamic between these 3 characters will play throughout the movie. The second key is found within a recreation of The Shining, the movie that Halliday saw with Karen on their first date. At the end of the trials within the simulation, a digital version of Karen exists floating in the middle of an abyss. To get to the key, someone has to take a literal leap of faith by jumping over to her and dancing with her. Again, correcting the mistakes of Halliday's past is the way to progress. Finally, after completing the final task, which is choosing and playing the game Adventure for the Atari 2600, the first video game to include an Easter egg in it, Wade is confronted by the digital avatar for the dead James Halliday. He tells Wade to sign a contract to transfer over the shares of his company. Wade hesitates at first. Something feels off to him, so he rejects the offer. He realized that it was really another challenge. Why, you may ask? Because Halliday's single greatest regret was forcing his only friend, Ogden Morrow, to sign over his shares of the company to him. He could not face Morrow anymore because of the jealousy that he felt. His best friend had married the love of his life, and so Halliday pushed him away. Wade does not make the same mistake as him, and Halliday's avatar seems delighted that Wade passed his test. A second later, they appear in a new room, Halliday's childhood bedroom. A young Halliday is sitting in front of the TV, playing a retro video game. He tells Wade as he is receiving the egg not to ignore reality, because as realistic as the Oasis is, nothing can truly compare. One of the lines that he says is a quote from Groucho Marx. "I'm not crazy about reality, but it's still the only place to get a decent meal." Halliday is trying to tell Wade that reality can be hard to face sometimes, but there are things that only real life can offer. When Wade exits the Oasis and rejoins the real world, he decides to split the prize among his friends, reversing the mistake that Halliday made so many years earlier. He even kisses Artemis, his love interest throughout the movie, completing the cycle by taking the leap of faith that Halliday never could. Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One commits to its themes of embracing the real world more than the book ever did. Wade and his friends even make the decision in the movie to turn off the Oasis for 2 days a week, forcing people to spend more time in reality. Pop culture icons like King Kong and the DeLorean are still plenty, but its focus allows it to succeed in ways that the book didn't. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like the video, comment down below, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe for more videos.